What's good? I'm Lyckades God, and today we watched Sailor fucking Moon. Sailor Moon! Sailor Moon! And let me tell you, I love that shit. Loved it. Sailor Moon surprised the shit out of me. It's really fun. The animation, of course, is 90s as fuck. But there's nothing wrong with that. And it works great for the feeling and pacing of each episode. This show is without a doubt cool. But as you learn taking notes on every single episode of a show, it ain't perfect. It just ain't. Any more ways than one. Not that many more ways, just a few, but still, god damn it, it ain't perfect. Nothing's perfect. But let's say some nice shit about it first, massage its shoulders, run our sweet fingers through its fucking hair. Immediately the first thing I loved about the show was just the style, the beauty, the grace of it. The colors are fantastic. It just looks beautiful. It's nice to look at. And I thought the voices, even though they sounded a bit phoned in, not uninspired, but phoned in the literal sense. Like it sounded like it was coming through an AM radio sometimes.
Studying so hard is very, very tiring. All those books, all those words. It can't be too good for a person. How does Melvin do it? Oh, I'm so sleepy, so tired. Oh, sleep.
I mean, this wasn't a time before. It was only the 90s. We could have done better on the studio ends of things, right? Am I wrong? I mean, especially considering the actors brought it relatively hard, and without looking it up, I choose to believe that there were like 4 of them, because it really sounded like every character was kind of being voiced by like the same 4 people. Exactly. But still, come on. It wasn't the late Cretaceous period, it was just the goddamn 90s. I mean, we had beautiful classics such as Space Goes Coast to Coast. Maybe, I don't know, maybe they do their best, who the fuck knows. Didn't sound like it. The characters who were in fact voiced by a metric dick ton of voice actors, the list is endearing to say the least. There's just so goddamn many of them. It sort of makes me feel like I didn't put the time in to formulate a well-rounded opinion on the voicing, but I did have to listen to it. So let's move on to the characters themselves. I love these characters, except Darian. Fuck Darian. We'll get into Darian a little later, but my boy isn't all that cool of a dude. But sweet God, I'm sure you understand how much I love these characters because you probably love them too, because you remember growing up with them back when we was childrens. Now me, as a kid, I never really watched Sailor Moon because it was the girls, which is bullshit. Shit is for everyone. All shit is for everyone. But the bullshit worked on me when I was a little kid, so I kept my distance from like Totally Spies, Powerpuff Girls, and some great shows that I really remember enjoying, but just feeling weird watching. What if someone fucking saw me watching a girl show? It's fucking pitiful. But hell, it took me to the age of 24 to get over that goddamn fear anyway, and here the fuck we are. I don't give a fuck. Well, I did wait for the house to be empty, so. In fact, coming back to Sailor Moon after all these years helped me get over this strange anxiety and embarrassment over watching shows that I enjoyed, but barely ever get to watch because of the fucking anxiety and it's a vicious fucking cycle. Much of this help came from my girl Serena. Being insanely relatable, she's a fucking mess. She's late every day, she cries, she daydreams about food, she daydreams about boys. She's a bit lazy even when it comes to fighting evil, and that's like her shit after Ep 1, as you do. She'd rather be playing video games or reading comic books. So maybe not totally relatable to everyone, but certainly to me. And I'd be really surprised if I was alone in that. Like, there's no way. She's Sailor Moon for a goddamn reason. The most interesting thing for me was the most interesting thing for me was that realization that at different points in my life, I related to Serena's character. Not necessarily all at once, but sometimes I was mad into comic books, sometimes I was mad into video games. Other times I was mad into food and boys. You know. I quite like how the evil characters she fights are more often than not personifications of real world issues and problems that kids that around that age might actually go through, and the consequences aren't that great until, I don't know, that bitch, she killed him. She killed him. She killed Jedi. She did, but fuck that. It's cute and happy, nice death. They don't kill him. They just like send him away forever. Whatever. You know, it's for kids. It's nice. It's for kids. It's nice. Yeah, you know, we don't got no. Look at these enemies. Look at her. Look at these Eevee. Look at these baddies. What's called? We don't got no ninjas. We don't got no demons. We don't got very little death. I mean, they just came out of the shadow realm or out of that weird fucking symbol that the scary jazz teacher has, and then they go back in. There's no death. It's safe. It's nice. It's cute. You know, sometimes there's a time and a place for death and fighting and action, and there's a time and a place for it to be nice and cute and wholesome. Sailor Moon. The best thing about these enemies, though, is they're all babes. Everyone's babes. So here's a typical episode of Sailor Moon. Let me walk you through it. We got a nice person just doing their thing, and then we got a fucking scary jazz teacher over here, fucking goofs them, gets them with the spell. They become a dick. Then they explode into a babe that has this sort of voice most of the time. And then she gets moon tiara'd. Somehow it's the golden fucking gun. Thanos has nothing on a fucking moon tiara. Magic! You're fucked. You see one of them coming at you, you're fucked. And then Serena teaches us a lesson about ourselves. And those are pretty fucking awesome. The Sailor Says bits at the end, they're fucking awesome. Especially with the whole world, not pointing any fingers at anyone, but the world is a little fucking acting like children's right now, so we need someone like Sailor Moon to come in and fucking remind us to just fucking be fucking nice to ourselves and to each other. It ain't that fucking hard. Unless you're Darien, cause fuck Darien. This is probably a good time. This is probably a good time to mention that Sailor Moon has a lot of a nice progressive shit going on with it. Clickbait articles for days just itching to tell you how Sailor Moon is the gayest show of all time, featuring LGBT characters, LGBT characters. And in 95, this was all happening. So it was ahead of its time then. It's still ahead of its time now. We gotta move on to some shit that wasn't so cool, but here's one last thing that was cool. God damn. The temperature in here will not make up its fucking mind. I like that all the characters in the show are women and girls, because that's something... I guess it's something you see more. I don't really know. Do you see that? I like that all the characters were women. Like, the main girl, she's a girl. All her friends. And... yeah, there's fucking Darien. But fuck Darien. You know, even the main evil entity is some old skank who rules the Negaverse. Why'd they call it that? Why would they call it that? And even you know, there are dudes who work under Queen Beryl, but am I saying that right? I don't give a fuck. But you know, they just work for her. You know, they're nothing. They're idiots. They're scary jazz teachers that don't get anything done because they keep getting their asses handed to my 14-year-old girls. So anyway, fuck Darien. Let me begin the next segment with a warning that it will not be like the previous segment. I didn't get mad at anything yet. Issue 1! Oh! This show produces uncool J.O. material. You don't need to be taking notes to realize Serena is 14. Despite this show being so positive and geared towards a younger audience, Serena's age has some very negative implications in the world. In Ep 15, Ray takes Mr. Darien, who is out of high school, older than high school, because he was doing modeling for a little bit when he got out of high school. Those are his words. That's the dialogue that's in the episode. So we got, let's say 1 year. Let's call it 1 year. So he's most likely 18, 19, possibly. Who the fuck knows even. So we got a 15-year-old girl going out with a 19-year-old man. He is an adult. He's an adult. And a worser case scenario, we got a 14-year-old girl, a 14-year-old child going out with a 20-year-old man adult. It's just bad, Japan. Bad. That's really bad. That's bad. And to make matters worse, my man's, look how nervous. My man looks mad nervous over here. He know he gets seen with this bitch, it's over for him. What the hell's he thinking? What is anyone thinking? Bad, Japan. Issue 2. This is sort of a carryover from the last issue, but I have separated the two because this complaint doesn't have any legal issues surrounding it. Though it probably fucking should. Might just be me subconsciously finding more sexual tension, but I doubt it because, holy Jesus, this show is riddled with unintentional sexual tension. They say that shit 5 times wrong. I can't. 5 minutes. Let me get my book here, man. All right. Three minutes, 30 seconds into Ep 13. I just wrote cum shot bit. Whatever could that mean? I guess we'll find out. Okay. It's all over the fucking place with this shit. 13 minutes, 37 seconds into Ep 18, Sailor Moon makes this sound that is unacceptable. It doesn't sound like she's falling, does it? It doesn't sound like she's falling, does it? Doesn't sound like she's falling, does it? If that doesn't sound like catching a dick to you, then you're fucking up. Because that is without a doubt the sound of A, penetration, B, surprise penetration, C, God, I gotta smoke less weed right there. I also have to guess that Sailor Moon is responsible for a bondage fetish or two, right? Considering how often my girls get themselves tied up, it's like every other episode they're tied up. Some kid out there watched Sailor Moon as a wee child, saw Sailor Moon and her friends getting tied up, and just by some evil plant bitch, and just thought, oh, fuck yeah, that's my shit. I could watch girls getting tied up all day. And when the young boy grew up, he learned that lots of people like getting tied up to do sexy stuff. Girls and boys alike, everyone in the world. And the boy realized that it's not really weird, and it's not weird at all, in fact, to be kinky. And that boy was me. And you know goddamn what? It's fucking hot. It is hot. Yes. Watching Sailor Moon getting tied up when I was a child was fucking hot. And I wish I hadn't said any of it.